All right, another week has flown by, and that means it's time for your latest updates for the Mortal Kombat news. So let's get to it. So in a previous video, I talked about how Mortal Kombat not once, not twice, but 3 times made the top listing of the most played games on PlayStation for August. And I thought that was great. And I thought that, when I announced that in the October PlayStation Plus, Mortal Kombat X being listed, that would make fans happy. Well, that's not quite the case. So recent polls on Push Square asking gamers their feelings about the games available for October on PlayStation Plus didn't quite put Mortal Kombat X in a favorable light. Of the 2 polls asked, one of the polls said, "Are you happy with your PlayStation Plus games for October 2021? Out of the almost 13,000 people that voted, 47% said, "No, it's a crap selection." The next one down was "No, not very happy" at 21%, and "Meh, they're okay" at 16%. Only 6% said "Yes, very happy," and "Yeah, mostly happy" at 9%. That's pretty bad. The second poll asked was, which October 2021 PlayStation Plus game are you most looking forward to? Out of the almost 10,000 votes that were polled, oh my gosh guys, 59% said none of them, to be honest. That's bad. 21% for Hell Let Loose, 11% for PGA Tour 2K21, and only 8% for Mortal Kombat X. Now I understand that this is, a small number of people, but that's a pretty good amount of numbers. That's, collectively almost 24,000 votes. So that's a lot of people. And for Mortal Kombat X not to get that much praise, or any of the games mostly overall, oh, that doesn't say very much. Now, I know that for some people, they're like, well, Mortal Kombat X is an older game. Maybe if Mortal Kombat 11 had been a free game, it'd have been better. It's possible. But, maybe just people aren't feeling Mortal Kombat right now, and I hope that's not the case, because Mortal Kombat 12 could be on the way. If you do have PlayStation Plus and you do participate in playing the games for free, and you got Mortal Kombat X, are you excited about it? Love your thoughts in the comments down below. Moving on, let's talk about a confirmed guest character that could have made it in the Mortal Kombat franchise. So this past week, Ed Boon did respond to a fan who did a fan art for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he retweeted it saying, "Trust me, her name has come up many times over the years in our conversations about possible guests in Mortal Kombat." This got fans and trades ablaze with story, and kind of excited that she would have actually been in the Mortal Kombat games. Now, I personally think she would have fit perfectly. I mean, I know that she could be kind of closer to Cassie Cage and Sonya Blade, but I think because she's, of course, the chosen one, she does have skills fighting, vampires, it kind of puts her in a little bit different, bracket, I would say. But I think she would have been a great adversary for most, including Natara, if we ever got her in the franchise. I know that she's the 3D era. We haven't got her anything in the more modern games, but by all means, that would be a reason if we got Natara, we could possibly get Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, reasons why I don't think she could have ever been in the franchise, because, once upon a time back in the day, and this shows my age, I actually did watch Buffy when it was on the air, on the WB, which was for Warner Brothers. And, NetherRealm Studios is a part of Warner Brothers games, and that would make sense if it had happened back in the day. But now, the rights to Buffy the Vampire Slayer are actually with Disney, who acquired them from the Fox acquisition. So it's kind of crazy to think that for now, unless they do some licensing, which we know what Ed Boon thinks about licensing, we're probably not going to see Buffy anytime soon, unless fans just really rally behind it. But on a positive note, if we kind of put a spin on it, while she may not be able to appear in Mortal Kombat, because now Buffy belongs to Disney to some capacity, I think just the TV rights, which is what the Sarah Michelle Gellar, that's what we all think of. That means that maybe we could have a Blade Buffy crossover. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? So maybe she could pop up in a Marvel game, or maybe even in the MCU. Nah, that'd be kind of cool, right? I'd be cool with that. So many thoughts about Buffy possibly being in the Mortal Kombat game and franchise. I know I saw a lot of people talking in the comments, well, why does Buffy get all the attention when we got Xena and, Ash Williams and a bunch of other characters that could be in there? But I think for a lot of us, we would have really enjoyed having Buffy be in the game. So next up, let's talk about some Mortal Kombat movie sequel casting news. So we haven't really got official word on Mortal Kombat 2. We know that 1 is imminent because Mortal Kombat, while it may not have made, a whole lot of money at the box office, we do know that fans rallied behind it and watched it, especially on HBO Max. It's like the most watched movie on the service. Good job, guys. So we know that 1 is coming on the pike. And since we haven't got that, I guess we've already got some potential casting news. And bear with me to this, and then I'll tell you at the end why this is possibly just some trolling. But let's get to it. So first up, we got Korean actress, and I'm probably going to butcher her name, Ho Young Chung, who is famous from the recent Netflix series Squid Game. Squid Game, excuse me, and is set to star as Katana. Now, we all know that Katana was teased in the first one with her fan and Raiden's Temple, and now we know that she's probably going to make an appearance in the sequel, so that's who we think is going to be cast as her, as some fans have put on Twitter. And we got Megan Fox next, set to star as a Black Dragon villainess, Syrah. Now, you're probably thinking, why would she be in the movie? Well, you know, there's a lot of Black Dragon stuff going on already with Cabal and, you know, with Kano. So it's possible that, you know, Shang Tsung still has some ties to the Black Dragon clan as far as just a bunch of people left around to try to throw at the heroes. It's possible. Now, this one I thought was interesting. We got Mr. Shang-Chi himself, Simu Liu, is probably going to replace Ludi Lin as Liu Kang. I don't know what Ludi Lin did wrong. I think he played a really good Liu Kang, but I guess if you need somebody a little bit taller, maybe a little bit of baller, I mean, if you see him with the rings, Simu Liu and Shang-Chi, maybe you think you need him as Liu Kang with some fire action. So we got him playing Liu Kang. And finally, probably some news that a lot of younger people would probably enjoy, Addison Rae being cast as Jade. Yeah, so in saying all that, this casting is obviously fake. These are all fake castings, and obviously this MK fans trolling Twitter, trying to get people's hopes up. But I wanted to kind of collect them and put them into a new segment because it is interesting to see what fans are thinking of other of actors and actresses to play characters. I don't know why we're trying to go to Ludi Lin. I think he was awesome as Liu Kang. So scratch that, even though I think Simu Liu would be great in the franchise as another character. But nonetheless, I think these are pretty interesting characters. I know that these are all characters that we could probably want. I don't know about Syrah, but, you know, maybe. But definitely Katana and Jade. But I just think it's interesting that we're talking about this now. We haven't got a sequel announcement yet. So on that note, who would you like to see in Mortal Kombat 2? And of the ones I listed, do you agree with some of the actors and actresses that they chose? So next up, let's talk about how a new job posting could be give us one step closer to a Mortal Kombat 12 for Injustice 3 announcement. So a new job listing on Warner Media Careers seeking a temporary assistant producer for a full-time position dedicated to a new AAA title was announced. Now this announcement could be something related to NetherRealm Studios. We're not quite sure, but what we do know is that the position is based in Chicago, Illinois, which is the same city where NetherRealm Studios is based, wink wink, and this person will be active in day-to-day management of the new game, manage and track assets and tasks with designated deadlines, coordinate group meetings, and act as a coordination and communication conduit for any outside vendors working on assets for assigned teams. That sounds like a lot of blah, 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 but the main thing here is there's another job posting for existing job postings that we've got. The one that we got previously was for a position related to a martial arts inspired project, obviously talking about a new game coming from Warner Brothers Games, or it was actually for NetherRealm Studios that was hiring it. And so given that, of course, martial arts thing, we can basically go to Mortal Kombat, but it could be Injustice. We know that it has to be related to either one of those two games, but announcement could be coming soon if they're ramping up more help to get the project going quicker. Now, we do know that a new IP was supposed to happen with NetherRealm Studios, and it's no longer happening. Injustice 3 may not be happening because of some of the comments that have been happening from people within NetherRealm Studios, including Ed Boon, who somehow they are reprioritizing projects, possibly due to potential licensing conflicts coming up if they are no longer with WWE Discovery. I could see that, and so they're probably going to default to Mortal Kombat since they obviously own the rights to all those characters. So Mortal Kombat 12 seems like the for sure game. It could be Injustice 3, and it could be another game entirely. We're just assuming that it's NetherRealm Studios that this is for, but I can't think of any other AAA title that could be coming about from Warner Brothers. I mean, they're not going to make like a Space Jam movie, are they? Or a Space Jam game. I know that Nickelodeon game came out, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, which seems to get a lot of fans and attention. Maybe they're going to do a Smash Brothers type game with a lot of the franchise characters within Warner Brothers. Could be, but I think it's really going to point at something with NetherRealm Studios. All right, the last thing I want to talk about was DC FanDome 2021. It is 1 week away, and a lot of fans are excited because from the trailers that were announced this week from DC FanDome, talking about all the celebrities and guests that are going to make an appearance, Ed Boon was listed yet again. He was at the previous DC FanDome, and we all thought he was going to talk about the Combat Pack announcement for Mortal Kombat 11. That did not happen. He was just there to, talk about something else. But in this one, fans are quickly thinking that because it's DC, that's easily linked to Injustice, we have to have Injustice 3 announcement. I don't think they're going to do anything with Mortal Kombat 12 or Mortal Kombat because that's not DC related. So let's go DC adjacent, which is Injustice. I personally don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. If you had a chance to watch my Injustice review, the new animated movie that came out, if you've watched the movie, you should have some sense of that. But if you watch my review, I talk about how because that movie, one, I don't think was that great. Two, was very abrupt and did not leave any open ending for an Injustice 2 or an Injustice 3 movie. It does not do much for the franchise as a whole as far as keeping the word going about the franchise, keep things trending, piquing people's interest, getting people excited for what's next. So I just don't think Injustice 3 is coming. I don't know why. And plus, on top of that, you're going to have them putting more spotlight on the movie because DC FanDome comes out before the release date of Injustice in the US, which is the 19th. So I don't think we're going to get anything for Injustice 3 at DC FanDome. And a lot of people are excited and wish that would happen. And I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but I just don't want people to get their hopes up because I got my hopes up last time. And I could be wrong. I could be shocked and surprised. And everybody's like, see, Justin, I told you, and I hope that happens. I hope that happens. But I think given the way things have been pacing at NetherRealm Studios, I think with the recent job, listing, I think with other things going on with the movie, I just don't have a whole lot of faith that Injustice 3 will be announced. So those are my stories for this week's Mortal Kombat News Mashup. Make sure you let me know in the comments what you think about all the stories I covered. And yeah, if you're hopeful for that DC FanDome announcement, let's make a bet. Let's talk about that in the comments. And that's it for this video, guys. Remember that like button. Of course, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.